Alright, in this training video we're going to cover how to enter payments in routeman and allocate and edit payments and that kind of thing. Alright, so I have this customer here, Three-Way Food Mart, and if you look at the invoices, I have one old outstanding invoice and one more recent outstanding invoice. And so the customer's balance over here is showing as $437.50, and they've sent me a check. So I'm going to go into the payments tab, and you can see all the past payments here are gray, and that means they've been used. And so now I'm going to enter a new payment today, and I'm going to enter today's date. This is going to default to today's date, but if you're entering checks, it will retain the date of the last payment that you've entered. So if you're doing a large number of checks, you don't have to go back up and reselect the date over and over. So it will hang on to that until you change the date. It will continue to go to that date. All right, so I'm going to enter today's date, and I'm going to leave it on check, but I could enter a credit card transaction if I needed to, an ACH, whatever kind of payment type that you have. And my check number is $9.99, and the check is for $400. And I can enter a note here if I need to. In this case, I don't. And I'm going to hit OK, and now you can see that the unapplied amount is $400. Okay, I haven't allocated it to cover any of my invoices yet. But if you look down here, you can see that the payment is showing in red, and this means I haven't used it yet. And it's to draw attention to the fact that there's an unapplied payment right now. So now I'm going to hit allocate payment, and you can see the two different invoices that are still open are listed for me to pick from. So I could select them, and you see when I selected that one, the unpaid balance changed to 0 and the applied amount filled in with $125 to cover that one. And up here it changed from $400 to $275. So this is kind of like the bucket of money that I have to spend for this check. So if I select that one, it covers it, and then I can select this one, but you notice it's not enough to cover. The bucket of money ran out. So it covered $275, but there's still an unpaid balance of $37.50. I will mention there is a tool over here. I'm going to clear those allocations and kind of rewind. I will mention that there is an auto allocate button, and this one can be handy in some cases, but it also can cause some problems. If I push this button, what it does is if I'm entering a payment for $400 and I hit auto allocate, the first thing it will do is look for an invoice that's exactly $400. If there are more than one, it's going to apply it to the first one, the oldest one, that's exactly the right amount. If there is no invoice that's exactly the amount of the payment, then it will start with the oldest invoice and pay it completely and just move down the list until it runs out of money. So in this case, that would be fine with me. If I hit auto allocate, it does exactly what I had done before and just select the oldest one, and then it pays the next one until it runs out of money and there's still a balance left owing. So we're going to move on in a minute. I'm going to hit OK and save it, but while these buttons are showing, I'm going to mention there is an option here to do a discount percentage or an adjustment percentage. That's not turned on my testing database at this moment. But if you do deliveries for another company and they keep a cut, that's what those adjustment and discount percentages are for. So if you're not getting payment for the total of the invoice, we have options to do that, and you can search in our help videos, or you can call and talk to us at the office and we'll explain how those work. Also, if you're receiving a large check that covers a lot of invoices, a high volume customer, a high volume parent company, it can be helpful to get those payments in a spreadsheet. And we have a tool here that allows you to upload the details from a spreadsheet. And so, if you're getting a check for $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, it could take you all day to go through and select the right ones and possibly enter different amounts into each cell. See, this is an editable field, and so you could actually customize how much is being allocated to each payment as you go through, but that could take you all day. And so if you need to do that and you have an Excel spreadsheet that breaks down which invoice is being covered for how much and all that kind of thing, that's also available in the help tools if you'll search for it, or you can call the office and I can help you work through that option as well. In this case, we're done here. Actually, I think I messed it up when I was editing. We'll just hit auto allocate. Okay, so when I hit OK, it saves it, and I'm going to hit return. And you can see that the check has been all used up, so it's gray now. If you look at the payment legend down here, the red payment was totally unallocated. Gray means I've used it up completely. If I only use part of the check, then it would display as yellow because there would still be some credit on that customer's payment. Okay, and you can see the other options there. Now, if I go back over to the Invoices tab, you can see that the old invoice was paid up and the newest one is only partially paid. And that's what I meant to happen. And you can see that the balance has been updated to reflect the payment that was made. All right, going back to the Payments tab, you can see the different options going down here. If you have our credit card processing system in routeman, this button will have action to it. If you don't, it will simply be grayed out, and you can still record credit card payments by choosing the credit card option here, but you would have to actually process it through another software program or an app or something like that. And this would simply be record keeping and accounting for your balances, your receivables. If you realize you made a mistake and you have to go in and edit a payment, you would highlight the payment itself and then click edit payment like I just did. And then once I'm in here, I can edit again and I can make changes as needed. You can delete payments if you need to, if you have permissions to. If you have a bounce check, you would use the bounce payment option. Or if you're using credit card processing, we also have a way to either void or refund a credit card transaction. If we choose the show details button, it actually will line up for you. Okay, I'm on that one and it covers these two invoices. If I click on a different one, it helps you associate in one spot. Okay, so if I hide details, I go back to this view. Print receipt is if I want to actually send a receipt to the customer. Okay, and it displays like this. It shows you which invoices are being covered, and of course you can email that to the customer or print it out, either way. Okay, and then the last button down here, if you have a check that's not being used and the customer is just going to leave it on their account until the next time they receive delivery, some states are okay with you recording it as such, and other states it's actually illegal for you to hang on to that, and you're only allowed to keep it if you turn that into a credit memo or a credit invoice. And so we do have that function here. You would actually create a credit product, and then you would assign that payment, that overpayment or unapplied payment, to a credit invoice, and it would come in over here and it would actually display as a green invoice, which is a little bit unusual, but that's what that's for. And then in the future, after you make a delivery, you could apply that credit invoice against the delivery invoice. All right, if you have any other questions, certainly give us a call at the office. Hope this helps.